Welcome back or to the channel. Trucker Rod here with S.E.E. and it is a Tuesday evening here in Cattlesburg, Kentucky, just outside of Ashland, and got shut down. We been hammering away at it. West Virginia, Kentucky, Northern Kentucky here. Still going at it. We're still staying busy. Surprising to me up to this point this year, especially with a lot of trucking companies taking big hits, bankruptcies, scaling back. Freight is drying up horribly. So if you could, before we get started in this, if you could like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Liking the videos, it helps the YouTube algorithm to get it pushed out more, grow the channel, trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark so we can really go more live at this point. So at this juncture this week, we are having another FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They have what they call their Blitz Weeks, where DOT, Department of Transportation, the way stations, mainly for truckers, they are out here railing on us this week, July 7th through July 13th. The title or theme of this so-called blitz is gross negligence, aggressive driving, speeding. That's basically what they're looking for, is just aggressive driving, basically tailgating, speeding. What else did they say? But basically speeding and stuff like that. The last one we had, they were focusing on brakes, doing brake inspections, so you can just get a random, even if you had a brand new truck come off the lot, they're going to do a random inspection, and they're going to focus on brakes, make sure your brake pads, drums, and that your clearance, that when the brake releases to the brake applies, that you have that proper adjustment on there. So yeah, they do stuff like that, and that's all the bureaucracy that we have to go through in day to day, week to week, and throughout the year. So I got this article from the company I work for, JJ Keller. So basically, distracted driving, that's another one they're focusing on this week. And I just wanted to go over that, a few things with you, what the DOT considers distracted driving in that. And get these things on correctly so I can read this. But basically, make sure you know how to identify the warning signs of other distracted drivers. So my phone, everything I have in here is locked onto a mount. As you can see, as you drive down the road, people will hold their phone in their hand while they're driving. I've seen other truck drivers do it, so I'm not just going after people in passenger vehicles. But lingering at intersections, basically you're not paying attention to the light turning green, stuff like that, or you're just being delayed leaving a stop sign. Drifting lanes, that's obvious. Braking suddenly because you're not paying attention what may be around you, and you just twitch and hit the brake pedals. And of course, tailgating because you're not paying attention to the distance of the vehicle in front of you. How to respond to distracted drivers around you is maintain a safe distance if you see someone being very erratic. That's the same with, back in the day before all this electronic crap came into the vehicles. Like I said, I'm not a fan. This is where the old school in me comes in, and I could just do away with all this electronic crap. So all it is a convenience, but it does not make the vehicle any more safe. So the next thing is maintain a safe distance, but move to the right. Moving into the right lane, if traffic allows, increases chances that the distracted driver will pass your vehicle. Pull over if all else fails, exit the road, what have you, you know, to get out of that way of that person. Types of distracted driving is there's visual, physical, and mental. Visual, changing the radio station, looking at a passenger, checking the GPS, looking at the scenery, billboards. That's kind of redundant, wouldn't you think? They put billboards out there. They put even the state, the federal government, whoever you want to tag, but they put things for you to read out there while you're driving, and now they're calling it it's a visual distraction. Physical distractions is reaching for snacks, removing like a hoodie or something. I've done that in the past, of removing a hoodie. I try not to drive with heavy clothing on unless I've got a very short distance, like 30 minutes or less between stops. Otherwise, I just don't do it. Grooming or applying makeup. Heavens, I have seen so many of you women out there putting makeup on while you're trying to get to work. And adjusting your mirrors, heating, cooling, seat position. Some of that you should have done. The heating and cooling, yeah, I don't think they should be throwing that in there. Adjusting your mirrors, that should be already a given before you take off. And your seat position, that should all be done before you get going down the road. And your mental distractions are daydreaming, listening to an audiobook, having a conversation on the phone or with a passenger, experiencing stress or anxiety. So it's as bad as drunk driving out there, and I totally agree with that. As this whole infotainment centers in the middle of the dash of these vehicles has gotten out of hand. You know, I'm sorry, but you know, then this want to say pilot drive or hands-off driverless mode on like your Teslas and that's to me, that's not safe, and I am just not a fan of that. Turning down all this because this gets me every time. But all that kind of crap, it's just a distraction. It's not necessary. We have gotten by truck driving with paper maps and done just fine with less accidents back in the day than you do now because of this, all these electronics in here. And it's taking the feel of the truck out of these new age drivers. The IT in them, whether it's adaptive cruise to the mitigation, like the truck will tap the brakes if you're getting too close, and even I know these Cascadias, you can order them to where it'll help correct your steering if you're bumping towards the inner or outer lines of the road. And it takes away that whole feel of the trucks, and even with the cruise control on, it's a lot of common sense. And with this IT stuff, it's dumbed our society down so horribly bad that you should be focused on your driving, especially driving one of these big bullets down the road. That's all I'm going to say, because I could get onto a whole lot of griping and bitching about that, but you know, it is what it is. I just do me, you do you out there, folks. I take it, I guess, a little more serious. I've got more skin in the game at an older age. This has been more than just a paycheck over the years. It's been more of a passion, and I enjoy my time out here. Do I want to do this forever? Absolutely not. Like I said, I've been just stacking and building these other businesses that'll give me an exit strategy when I feel that I've had enough out here. But you know, for the most part, trucking's still good, but the policies and the regulations is what really has frustrated me. I don't care for more government. I think people have been tooting the horn for the last 3 decades that, you know, all these problems in the world would be solved. The government got involved. Well, now you got the government. You're handing over everything, all your freedoms and all your decision making to lawmakers, you know, politicians. And you need to be held accountable. We, as any individual, and it doesn't matter what class you come from or what color of your skin, but everybody needs to be held accountable to their actions, whether they do good or they do bad. But you cannot give everyone a pass and just a slap on the hand and they're there. We need to be very more common sense and diligent in admitting when we've done wrong, and to be humble and not walk around and glow and just want to be rewarded and patted on the back all the time. But what else has been going on? You know, we finished up the 4th of July last week, and I didn't get a video out. I think I did at the beginning of the week, but for the most part, I got home. I had a lot of chores around the house, and I just didn't want to get the camera out and sling it. I wanted to get a lot of stuff caught up and done. You know, I dedicate a lot of time out here, and when I'm home, I have to really balance projects that need to get done at home. I've got 2 homes that, you know, basically I maintain, and so I went to the second home. We did a patio, put in a smokeless fire pit, and did some shopping down in Elkhart, down at the Shipshewana in Indiana, and picked up some stuff there. So it's our little getaway retreat home, and my wife needed it after her surgery. So we had a very pleasant time last week. Good company and lots of food in great steaks. You know, I've got 2 freezer fulls of steak or beef and pork and chicken, so we stacked everything up, went down and had a good time, enjoyed the fireworks, had the dogs with us. So we're empty nesters, and so we're enjoying our time. And I said right now probably focus down there, and if I get extra time off here in the truck, I will get back onto the siding and windows on the house at home. So I've got all that besides shooting these videos. Got a detail business. I've got a brokerage stuff going on and trading. So yeah, I'm busy. People think I'm some people think I'm kind of crazy for keeping busy like that, but I don't. I find it exuberating, to say the least, that it expands my mind and knowledge to learn more stuff every day. And instead of just getting complacent and staying set in my ways, as I'm, you know, looking at 60 coming up, I'm very trying to be more humble and moving forward and getting more savvy in tech and other things that will help me benefit in cash flowing later on in life, because I'm going to be more or less depending on that as I eventually walk away from a physical job like this. But that, and looking at some other things in detailing, so I'm trying some new products there. I'm actually going back down this week, and I got to strip old wax off a 40-foot RV, and I'll start the polishing process. I definitely wasn't going to get into that last week because I didn't want to be slinging water in the power washer around. The park was just full with, especially a lot of people on vacation, so I elected not to indulge in that. So we did some other things and what have you. So yeah, that's going on. Plus the heat was bad, so I'm hoping the heat will tamper down by this weekend, that I can get up on the ladder and start moving around outside and go from there. But we are still alive and kicking and doing great. Everything's going well out here. Got one tire getting a little out of round or something, getting a little vibration on the truck here. I walked around, saw there's a section of tire I've got to have a mechanic look at when I get back and see what they think, maybe swap that tire out. But truck's been doing good. AC is working phenomenal in here, as the humidity was 8 o'clock this morning. Got back in there and I was by the time I got done, my work shirt was soaking wet at the first stop, and I knew it was just going to be a long day from there. So I knocked out 6 stops, 500 miles, and just a hot, humid day down here, mainly Virginia, and got up here into Kentucky, stopped once in Kentucky, but still a barn burner. So hopefully I don't care too much about the heat index. Don't bother me. It's the humidity would just tamper down a little bit, and all this rain we've been getting on and off. It may rain for an hour on and off through the day, and then the sun comes out and it's just adding to that humidity. But otherwise, I appreciate y'all being here. Met a cool cat down there in Clintwood, Virginia at one of my stops. So hopefully he sees this, chimes in, and subscribes to the channel. That's all I can ask of you folks, is if you're seeing this and if you want to see something different or more, let me know. But for the most part, there is going to be a new for truck drivers from the FMCSA. They're on a pilot program for a level 8 inspection, and I'm going to read on that article and chime in with that. And then I've got another subject coming up on in the economy and credit cards, and how the credit card rates have gone extremely up, and it's really crazy. But the level 8 is basically they're gonna inspect your truck while you're rolling. So it's in the works. It's already being done on a pilot program. So that's why I said you got to thank all this electronic garbage going on. And if your truck doesn't pass the inspection, or something comes up but they don't pull you in, they can still send you a fine or a ticket. So I want to look into that more. But anyhow, that's coming up. So like I said, taking time to read up on that. And then I wanted to share that distracted driving with y'all, because these are things that they look at us when the motor carrier looks at us going down the road. We go in a weigh station, they take a picture of us, boom, just as you come off the ramp and before you go to the scales, or you know, you got the rolling scales, and then you got scales up by the scale house, and they take a picture. They got your plate and they got you, and that's why these seat belts are orange. They can see them across us, unless you've got like an owner op spec truck where you can you know, change your color on that seatbelt. But for the most part, a fleet truck like this, you're gonna have an orange seatbelt. They'll see that across you, and that's all in that camera image. Now, I have been pulled around a couple years ago behind the Ionia, Michigan scale house, because my license plate on the bumper of the front of the truck was delaminated and they couldn't hardly read it. And we had a new plate coming, and literally was sitting down at the Ryder shop in Grand Rapids. So they as soon as she had the scale lady came out with a bunch of cadets, and I said, did I do anything wrong? I was just kind of surprised you pulled me in because I'm running empty. And she goes, yeah, I can't read your plate. And I said, oh, yeah, I got a new one. So she called, verified they had a new plate. I just had to get it in, get it mounted. And but she verified the plate to my registration, all that jazz. So those cameras do pick up on that stuff. So in order to red flag them, to then throw the sign to have me come around back. But that stuff is happening. So that's the day in the life of what we go through, and not only dealing with all the passenger vehicles, the inclement weather, or when the weather's really doing nice like it's been, to getting in the tight spaces with these big trucks, and then finding parking at night to get some rest, shoot some videos, make some dinner, jazz like that. So there's all that going on. It's, you know, like I said, it's a lifestyle. If you're just looking at getting into this industry as a paycheck, you set yourself up for failure. I'd say you'd be more content of just working at McDonald's and changing the liners and the trash cans out in the parking lot than doing this. So if you don't want to be stressed out. But anyhow, folks, again, my name's Trucker Rod. You're at S.E.E. channel, and appreciate you being here. And stay safe out there. And remember, knowledge is learned, not taught. And we will see you all in the next video.